Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Hurry Up Tomorrow. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Ooh. Okay. So, this movie, if you didn't know already, is about The Weeknd. And you all know who The Weeknd is, real name being Abel Tesfaye. I'm not sure quite how to say his last name, but yeah, The Weeknd minus the E. So it's just Weekend without the E between the K and the N. So that's his name. He's big music artist. Like, I don't listen to his music like on my own, but I know who he is because his music is everywhere. I mean, I know WWE loved his music. They used his songs for like four straight WrestleManias. So, yeah, that's like one of my main exposures to The Weeknd's music. And The Weeknd has ton of fans, legions of fans for his stuff. And obviously, those fans are going to be the first people to want to watch this. And it helps that this movie right here is kind of a companion piece to his most latest album, being called Hurry Up Tomorrow, which came out like several months ago. So, yeah. So, The Weeknd, his presence in the movie, the fact that this whole thing is just, well, a vanity project. I mean, that could be both, in a way, it can be a positive and a negative. In this case, it's very much a negative. But with his fans, I feel like that's a pro because, his fans will be like mainly the only people who care to watch this thing. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, um, uh, shoot. I guess there's no direct competition really for this. No serious direct competition except maybe Final Destination Bloodlines, but not really. It's not really nothing out there to like this movie can like directly hurt it. So I guess I'll label that as a pro. Yeah, I guess. And that's it with pros. Okay, cons. Ooh, this movie has just been destroyed by critics as a 14% critic score. That is the worst critic score I've seen in a minute for a movie. Like, holy shit. That is bad. And its audience score is a lot higher, 73%, which is still not very good. And the cinema score, I believe, is a C minus last I checked. Yes, a C minus. So all of these spell doom, absolute doom for the movie. So yeah, critic scores are horrendous. Audience scores are comparatively better, but they're still not good. So yeah, word of mouth is just trash in general. So that's obviously a con. Another con is the fact that, sure, I mean, when it comes to like big music stars being in movies, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it leads to big success. Like they can really like help a movie. Like say, like whenever like Beyonce decides to be in a movie or whatever, sometimes that can help a movie's that said said movie's box office. But that's not the case all the time though. Like say, for example, Taylor Swift. Okay, big music artist, one of the biggest in the world. Yet when she was in Cats, the movie Cats, that cursed movie that I will never regret watching in the theater, her presence didn't do a damn thing to help that movie. Well, really, nothing was going to help that movie, but her presence didn't help at all. Not to mention, she was in another movie, Amsterdam, movie I know you all forgot about. I don't blame you. That didn't help that movie either. Ironically, her biggest success on screen was when she just, did her little Errors tour, just theatrical cut of that, and that did great. But like in regular old movies, her presence did nothing. So it's never a guarantee that a big music star going into the movie world is going to be successful. It's never a guarantee. So that's a con right there. And it doesn't help that this isn't the first time the Weeknd's been like, he had his show, a very infamous show, The Idol, a show everybody hated. I never saw it, thank God, because I was about to subject myself to that. But yeah, people really hated that show. And this movie, apparently, it's not a whole lot better. So maybe he should just stop acting and just stick with music. That's what he should probably do at this point. But yeah. So yeah, I mentioned the whole, the fact that he's a big music star doesn't mean that's going to translate to success on the big screen. So that's a con. Another con is the fact that even though it's not direct competition, all attention is surrounding Final Destination Bloodlines because people actually want to watch that movie. And then next week, you got two big movies coming out with Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. And those two movies are likely going to crush everything in their path. And that includes this movie. So yeah, those three movies right there, are just taking up all the attention while this is getting none in comparison. So that's a con. Uh Anything other con? Oh shoot. I guess I can mention our pros at the cast. I mean, sure, you have The Weeknd. I mentioned him. But I forgot to mention you also have Jenna Ortega, who's, a big name right now. Thanks to, being in, the Scream movies, Scream 5 and 6. And of course, Wednesday, the show on Netflix, one Netflix's biggest shows ever, which is about to get a season 2 this summer, and it's a really good thing Jenna Ortega has that in her back pocket, considering how Hurry Up Tomorrow's doing. Not to mention she was also in Beetlejuice. So yeah, people know who she is. People very much know who she is. And then we also got Barry Keoghan, who is either known for his movies or the fact that he dated Sabrina Carpenter. And apparently he fumbled the bag hard with that relationship when they broke up. But anywho, so like Barry Keoghan, he's been in some movies. Dunkirk, I see. Green Knight, I see. Oh, Eternals. No. I don't want to be reminded of that movie. Apparently, he was also in the Batman, Saltburn. I know that one. I never watched it, but I know he's in that. And then he's going to be in the Beatles cinematic. It feels like a big cinematic experiment in 2028. We have 4 Beatles movies, all coming out the same month. It's a rather bold experiment. We'll see how that does. But I say Barry Keoghan, he's a recognizable enough figure. So I guess I'll label their presences as a pro. But anywho, back to cons. Thursday previews. You look at this and be like, oh, that's not too bad. 1.65 million. You gotta put a massive asterisk on that. Because that all of that did not come from Friday. Or I'm sorry, Thursday. No. In fact, I gotta search it. The actual Thursday previews were 350K, and they were apparently added to early access fan events, which comprised of like 1.3 million. So really, it's 350K, and you look at that, that's terrible, especially for like a movie like this, considering The Weeknd, how big his fan base is. That's terrible. Just terrible. So, yeah, Thursday previews, trash. So that's a con. And I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So opening weekend. Okay, so this is projected to hit between 3.3 million and 4.7 million from what I'm looking at. I feel like it's going to hit the lower end of the scale because word of mouth is just that rancid. And its total, I see this movie dying a very quick death, like an extremely quick death. I'm talking like second weekend drop between 70 and 80%. Like that's how fast I see it plummeting to the point where I think 10 million might be a stretch. So I'm gonna say between 5 to 10 million. Probably more like 7 to 10 million. Yeah, 7 to 10 million. I'm gonna go with that. And that's it. So that's the end of the weekend. Not a super exciting weekend except for Final Destination Bloodlines. But next week is expected to be big. Expected to be like a big money weekend. And it's not because of The Last Rodeo or Friendship. It's because of Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Those two movies together are expected to make between like, just 200 million, like just those two movies combined over the weekend. Like that's a crazy amount. And hell, that number could go even higher. This could go like full on Barbenheimer levels of money potentially. We'll see, but it will be a big Memorial Day weekend. It will be 1,000 times better than the travesty we had last year with Furiosa and the Garfield movie, where Furiosa bombed hard out there. And while the Garfield movie was a hit, it didn't save the box office at all. So, yeah, I'm glad that this year is a hell of a lot better. But that's next week, so stay tuned for those videos. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of them, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I did my April recap very recently. May recap won't be till like the first, second weekend of June. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Hurry Up Tomorrow ever. There are 250 episodes of canceled. So if you want to watch any of those videos, you want to binge watch the whole series, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.